Hey, welcome. So glad you guys are here. Today I'm going to show you how to make some fake churros with Cinco de Mayo coming up really soon. I thought this would be a fun little project to do. And I happen to love churros. So I'm going to use my foam clay. And I just want to give this a base color. So I'm going to add a little bit of territorial beige and a little bit of yellow. And then just mix that into my clay really well. Okay, so I think I'll be able to make 3 churros out of this amount of clay that I have here. So I'm going to roll this out a little bit so I can divide it into 3 equal parts. Or equal-ish. They don't have to be perfect. I'm going to roll this out into a log. To about the thickness that I want my churro and the length. And then these get flat on the ends kind of because they're usually cut off. Like the real ones, when you make them, they're cut off on the ends. So just get that flatness on the ends there. And now I'm just going to take a skewer and I'm going to press it in to make the lines. So if you press your skewer in and then kind of pull the clay around it a little bit, that will give more of the look. Make it more accentuated, which is what we want. You'll have to be careful not to squish the opposite side when you're pressing the lines in. So I'm just going back on the ends and just getting more definition. Really pressing it down into that end part. And then just flatten that end again. And of course we don't want this to look so perfect. So I'm gonna go in and add some texture. Get that kind of flaky fried look. I'm using my X-Acto knife. You can use a toothpick if you don't have an X-Acto knife. When you do this, make sure you go in more than one direction. So if you're just going up and down like this, it's going to start to get really lined looking. So then if you go across, that'll kind of take away that look. And then on the end, I'm going to make my texture with a toothpick. So I'm going to do a little more like, I still want that same kind of texture that I have on the side, but I also want to make a little bit kind of like aerated, dotty looking. Okay, so now we need to shade them. I'm going to use territorial beige, and I'm just going to put a couple drops of each color in here, and then a couple drops of yellow, and a couple drops of harvest orange. And then just mix that around. Get a lot of the color out of your brush so we can dry brush. So it's going to be darker on these higher up spots, and then like the in-between spots will be a little bit lighter. Be sure to get the ends too. So I usually do 1 coat, and then I like to go back over and kind of just darken some areas just to make it look more realistic. Okay, so now we have to make our sugar coating. So I'm going to use just some white sand. I just have a little cheap eyeshadow palette. I'm going to use kind of a cinnamony color of eyeshadow. So I'm just going to scrape some up with my toothpick and just add it in with my sand. If you're cool with using real food in your fake bakes, you could just use real cinnamon. Okay, so you can use Mod Podge, but sometimes it has a hard time adhering things to the foam clay. So I'm going to use this foam and poster board adhesive. I got this at Dollar Tree. You can also get it on Amazon. I'll link for you in the description to the one on Amazon, but it obviously is a lot more expensive on Amazon than it is at Dollar Tree. So if you can find it there, I would recommend getting it there. So I'm just going to I'm going to do a little bit at a time because this stuff doesn't take very long to dry. So I'm just going to put it on and smear it around and then sprinkle my cinnamon sugar on. Thank you guys so much. I hope you've liked this quick little tutorial, and if you want another Cinco de Mayo tutorial, be sure to check out my frozen margarita. I'll put the link to that here on the end screen and in the description for you. Have an awesome day.